Ah, that's also true. Observers can't be Aztec. I almost forgot that. Maybe that's what's I don't know what the Aztec observer actually causes. So that might have also been the problem. Yeah, okay, this seems a lot better. Yep, this works now. Okay, great. So, on the left side of the map, we do have playing in the color blue as the Aztecs, Kaiserklein. While his opponent on the right side of the map, who is playing on the color red as also the Aztecs, is kynesie. We immediately see them going towards the top middle portion of the map here with their explorers, searching for some of these good treasures. Like this 60 wood is very, very nice. Let's see.
What you should do because it's the best scouting pattern I think on this map. Oh,
your microphone is very crackly again. Guys are already complaining about the lag. Oof.
I got go to the explorer that 3 stacks.
Currently, the red explorer is winning here,
but I'm having issue with my sound.
Yeah, it's extremely crackly.
I don't know. Kaiserklein is trying to take this treasure. I think that he will.
Yeah, I think he got it.
He got it. That's good, and he can escape. So that was a good move.
Yeah, I didn't see which of the two used his convert, though. Did you notice?
But his wolf got killed. So they're both going for the market, which is, in my opinion, is a good choice. Because going TP as Aztecs really sucks because it's going to slow your age up.
And they both have hunting dogs already. Ooh, another
Yeah,
treasure
good.
that's going to be contested, though. 80 food here.
Yeah.
And this is a pretty big treasure in this matchup. If you can age up quicker than your opponent because of a treasure like this, you are quite far ahead.
That's true. Wow, it's lagging like really hard.
Yeah, as a caster, it's kind of difficult for me to notice lag, but I did notice that Kaiser was not happy.
Because they're both going to age up with the faster age competition, which is the only viable option. And, well, I kind of know both players since they're both French, and I know that they like to play the standard Aztec, like they like to send 700 wood and unit shipments and just play it in colonial.
Oh, kynesie does get the food treasure here. Kaiser was about to steal it, but then his explorer started spinning around instead of picking it up. The pathing AI can be pretty bad sometimes in this game.
For Kaiser is that his ants are close to his town center, so he can gather very effectively, while Kinesies are quite far, which means that even though Kynesie got these treasures, maybe he's going to age a bit slower.
Yeah, he is quite far behind on food.
It's because of a bad herding. And that's why you should always try to hunt your animals near your town center, like Kaiser did, because else it will slow you a lot.
It's not just that, actually. His 3 villager shipment was also half a minute later than Kaiser's. So I'm not sure if there was like an experience treasure somewhere. Yeah, Kaiser got an 80 experience treasure, so his 3 villagers arrived quicker.
Actually, Kynesie is dancing, so I don't know what he's doing. He's probably trying to train the warrior priest.
That's only an H2 though, isn't it?
Probably trying to gather XP just before.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, he does have an extra shipment here compared to Kaiser's, so... Oh wait, no, Kaiser just was H2 quicker, never mind. They both have the same amount of shipments.
Kaiser got a nice XP treasure. So we can see that Kaiser is going to build a forward base, which is the standard play in this matchup. But I think that kynesie is going to send the 3 war priests, and he's actually going to do my boom, I guess.
Yeah, he does have 3 warrior priests in his deck, so that is very possible.
He's probably going to send that card. I don't know if you've watched put it and he actually won the game.
Yeah, you dropped away there, so I didn't hear. I just hear you say, I don't know if you watched, and then you dropped off.
Well, I don't know if you watched Sampu against Azamk.
No, I missed most of that, sadly, because I wasn't home.
Sampu went for the strat kynesie is currently doing, and he actually won the game. I think that it's a very solid strat in Aztec Mirror, but the issue is that he is going party indeed, but the issue is that his hunts are quite far.
Yeah,
really
he needs to hurt
reaggression.
this thing as soon as possible, because soon there is no way he can get to that. Yeah, like, it's already too late.
Oh, I don't know if it's too late. You can always hold with, you know, the Minutemen. It's not the Minutemen, it's the Warrior, actually.
Yeah,
but
the Warriors from the pit, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's doing, actually.
Yeah, these things are actually quite powerful, especially because they are, well, they're not quite free because you are wasting villager seconds to dance for them, but they are extremely efficient.
Yeah, they're really good, but he needs to get the war up, up, because if he doesn't, he's just going to lose the game.
Yeah, he needs the extra fire and, of course, the ability to make units that are not warriors.
Yeah, and now I think that he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to use the warrior priest to fight because they're a really good unit. But as I said, yeah, warriors just buy time. They don't win games. You really need to get the warrior up.
Yeah, for
if
sure.
he doesn't, he's going to lose.
Yeah, like I said, these warrior priests are actually really, really strong. They have 360 hit points and 15 hand attack, and they don't really count as any unit type, I believe, so they don't get any sort of multiplier from anything. So they actually do really well. If they can get to something and hit it, of course, like most melee units.
Yeah. So now he's building his warrior, but I think that it's a bit late, and it's like forward, and it shouldn't be that forward. Like it should be, I don't know, elsewhere.
Yeah, now the villagers that are building it are taking a lot of fire from these mace, and if it does get up eventually, it's in a rather exposed position for if pikemen ever show up.
Of villagers, and I think that it's game. It's just too behind. I don't think he can come back from that.
Yeah, he's lost 3 villagers already, and he's going to lose more over the course of this siege. And yeah, there we go, some
finish with war
sieges here. Yeah, this is taking so much damage.
Like he have built it here, like just behind the TC. And yeah, he's not going to do much with his spikes. Like it should have been the 5 coyote shipment. Even though it's a bad shipment, in this situation it would have been good. It would have been good. And now I don't know if he has resources to build the warrant. Yes, he does. But yeah, it's in a
he's
terrible
in a lot
spot.
of trouble here. He's 6 villagers behind.
It's just game.
He also only has a single hunt left in his base, so not only does he need to hold this, he also needs to be able to push out after holding this to secure more hunt. Oh, there seems to be quite a bit of lag going on here. I think he's also doing the healing dance because his explorer is healing up very quickly.
You don't have the healing dance in Colonial actually.
Ah, is it Fortress that you get it?
Yeah, it's Fortress.
Ah, okay, never mind then. I guess the Aztec Explorer just heals really quickly. It does have a lot of hit points, and the healing is based on your hit points, so...
Yeah, that's why. We can see it just by looking at the score.
Well, the healing dance doesn't show up on the score, only the attack dance and the Warchief dance show up there. Maybe... yeah, Water as well, I think. I think that's the only 3 that show up. I'm not too familiar with Aztec, but I know the healing dance doesn't show up.
Yeah, it's that. The healing dance shows that actually. I'm pretty sure it does. Oh.
Yeah, it does seem like kynesie might hold it for now, but...
No, actually it doesn't. But yeah, it just has no eco. It doesn't even have a word.
Yeah, he's starting to add some walls now, but like I said, he has no infrastructure. Half the villagers, pretty much. The only thing he has going for him are these war priests, but... yeah, I don't think that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I think the deciding move in this game was the word placement. Because if it was a bit behind the town center, he wouldn't have lost it, and it would have been a lot better for him. But now, yeah, it's just in a bad spot.
Yeah, he doesn't even get the full wall off in time, so the coyote can just run into his base again.
And now he's idled again.
Yeah, this is very awkward. I mean, there are some warriors here who can probably pick off these coyotes, or at least scare them off. But he's just getting idled and losing more and more villagers. He's lost 7 villagers this game already, and 33 warriors.
Yeah, that's just too much. Yeah,
this is going to be awkward to come back from. He is, let's see, he's 18 villagers behind. That's just almost insurmountable. Especially because he has no map control.
Yeah, and he has no army. So he has less army, less eco.
Army-wise, he's actually ahead currently, but not by enough to safely be able to push out.
Like, he has warriors, that doesn't count. And same, maces are one population, like coyotes.
Yeah, and like army composition-wise, Kaiser is just vastly ahead. Even losing more villagers here now, trying to block for his mace, but it's not gonna be enough. Some warrior priests coming off the fire pit to try and repel these coyotes, but every time one of these skirmishes happens, kynesie is just bleeding more and more resources. And villagers, and units.
Yes, as I said, it was game when 1 or 2 minutes ago. It's not close anymore.
Yeah, this is an almost insurmountable disadvantage he's at. Unless he can like ship schooners and somehow get 15 ships on this water, it's like almost impossible to come back. And even if he can somehow pull off water...
in his deck, and it's not viable on this map anyway.
Well, I think it's not completely unviable, it's just... there's no well, so it has no late game potential. And like, if you overcommit, you just die, because there's not enough payoff. But yeah, his final research is getting crushed here.
You don't even have a lot of ships, so it really sucks. And now he's losing again more vills.
Yeah, and he's gonna start losing warrior priests as well eventually, and then his entire base just falls apart.
Yeah, that sucks because...
now.
yeah, it wasn't the best shipment. But yeah, that sucks because he just made 1 or 2 mistakes and then it snowballed.
Yeah, mirrors are extremely punishing. Well, it's not necessarily extremely punishing, but if your opponent capitalizes on your mistakes, it is so bad. Especially in a mirror that's as volatile as this one. I don't think...
Well, that's what happens in mirrors, and I think that Aztec mirror is like one of the most punishing mirror. Like, one small mistake can definitely make a difference.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and some more vills probably going to die here. kynesie is just falling further and further behind this game. I think Kaiser is actually aging up. Yeah, so Kaiser is even going to Fortress here. I don't even think that was needed, but... we do see more priests going down here. I'm actually surprised that Kaiser hasn't been taking TPs yet. I feel like that could have been a good decision.
He actually lost his explorer. That's why I think.
Ah, yeah. I guess
And
he doesn't have the warrior dance yet. Or not the warrior dance. The warchief dance. Kynesie going for a full wall off here.
And I think you did like 2 minutes or something crazy like that when you only have one warrior priest to get your warchief back. That really sucks. So yeah,
you can't pay gold at the TC to get it back, right? That's only Asian and European civs.
Yeah, you can't.
That would be rather
So
silly.
Kynesie is actually playing it in colonial, I think.
Yeah, there is no way Kynesie ages here. Yeah, and he does call GG.
Fine.
Yeah, like I said, that warhead in the front just cost him so much.
And his TC, I think he might have won. I don't know.
Yeah, it still would have been difficult because he got pressured so hard, but just losing his warhead like that is really punishing.
It was an interesting game, but yeah, that kind of sucks on Kynesie.
Yeah, also if you look at all resources gathered, like, it's not even close. Kaiser just gathered 10,000 more resources.
Was idle all game long.
Look at the final fight, though.
It went good for Kynesie, of course, because he used Vils and warrior priests.
Yeah. Like, if you look at if you look just at military population, you think, like, yeah, I mean, Kynesie's doing pretty great this game. But then you look at villager population, you're like, oh.
And also you have to keep in mind that warrior priests are taken into military population.
Ah.
So when you have 10 warrior priests, it's like 10 units, while it's not really. Oh, Kaiser has to pick first, and I guess he's going to take Iroquois, I think, because he doesn't play Sioux, and he probably knows that Sioux is a bad save. And, well, I've never seen him playing. No.
I think
Wait,
Sioux in this tournament is
Smurf
actually reasonably fine. Like, the 3 civs you can pick into it aren't the greatest versus Sioux.
But they still win. Like, you can't really beat a good Japanese player, and Kynesie is probably.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Like, Kynesie is just known to be a good Japan player, so
yeah,
he is definitely more experienced with Japan than Kaiser is with Sioux.
Japan player in the game currently. So yeah, there's no way Kaiser can play Sioux, and Sioux is bad save anyway. So I think it's either going for Aztecs or Iroquois. He's going to take Iroquois, I think.
If this goes to Game 7, he will actually be forced to pick Sioux, because there is no more civ reset from now on.
Honestly.
So he has to pick the native civ in Game... Oh no, it's to Game 6, I think. Yeah, he has to pick native in Game 2, 4, and 6. So in Game 6, if it goes to Game 6, he will be forced to pick Sioux if he didn't pick it in Game 4.
That would be interesting. I think
It's actually one of the interesting things about this particular tournament is that there is no civ reset at all, which makes it very awkward because it really demands a good civ pool from the players.
Yeah, and it also means that you can't really make a mistake, because then you're going to be in trouble. So it seems that he's taking Aztecs. Kynesie is going to take Port, I think, because he's a really good Port player. Best save? Yeah, of course he's going to take Port, because he doesn't play India nor Spain at all.
Yeah. I don't know Iowa too much, actually. I'm sure I've seen it before, but I can't remember it currently.
Well, I've never played it. I've seen it, and I really don't like this map. Up with some trading posts at the middle, and some small lakes at the middle also.
Ah, that one. Yeah, I think I know which one you mean. It's like it's basically Mendocino, but with some lakes in the middle, right? more or less.
But yeah, so to go for some safe builds like with colonial militia, and we'll try to go industrial maybe. Press, and Kaiser is just going to take the TPs. I think because I think it's the best way to play against Portuguese.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably.
Technically, Ports could go for something like advanced trading posts, but against Aztecs, I feel like that's way too risky. It's so difficult to defend those trading posts, even though they get the extra hit points and the attack.
On the other hand, it's hard to kill a training post, you know. Like, what are you going to do? You're not going to kill them with maces or coyotes.
Yeah, you need pikes.
Well, pikes, but pikes is kind of awkward because it dies to Minutemen, and die to TPs actually, like quite fast.
Yeah, that's the awkward thing about advanced trading posts. Like, if you don't have a big mass of siege units, you actually are going to lose units sieging down that TP. And it's not even worth it then.
You're not going to kill a training post with just 5 pikes.
Yeah, they're just all gonna die straight up.
Forever.
Like, you're going to lose your first pike and you lose 20% of your damage. And then you lose a second pike and you have slightly more than half your damage left. It's like so inefficient.
Yeah, but the issue is that it's only 3 TPs. Like, if it was 4 or 5, maybe then it would be worth to go for a TP. But here it's simply not.
Yeah, 3 TPs is probably not enough. But anyway, we do have,
like,
on the top side of the map, playing in the color red as the Portuguese, Kynesie, who is currently down a game against his opponent on the bottom left side of the map, or bottom side of the map rather, playing in the color blue as Aztecs, Kaiserklein. Sorry for interrupting you.
So, yeah, the ends aren't too great on this map. Like, they're decent, but it's not Arkansas or Kamchatka. Easy to go to industrial, for example.
Yeah, it will be awkward to go to any fast fortress. We do see a nice treasure here being picked up by Kaiser, though.
Going to do well, fast fortress is an option, or maybe just some colonial play, but knowing Kynesie, I don't think that he will go for that kind of style because it's just not his style.
Would you prefer a straight fast fortress or more something like a semi in this matchup?
Fast fortress, because I feel like you're not going to accomplish much with like a few SR or a few masks.
So you just want to go straight to fortress and defend using your TC and maybe some villager pulls, couple minutemen, maybe an 8 bow shipment.
Honestly, with two batches of minutemen, you don't even need to use a bow shipment or villagers.
Ah, so you just ship colonial militia then to get the second batch of minutemen.
You don't. I mean, you have 2 TCs.
Ah, like that. Yes. Okay. Yes. Right. He's Portuguese. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's enough.
And would you place a second TC defensively or try to secure a hunt with it?
Have to put it defensively, but if you go for some over colonial strat, then you can try to put it more aggressively.
So you would put it like somewhere like here?
Over here maybe, to secure that end.
You would put it like somewhat forward to try and secure something, just not, you know, like over here or something.
No, you just can't put it over here.
Yeah, then it would just get sieged down, I guess.
Yeah, here is fine. But the thing is, Kaiser knows that you just can't rush against Portuguese, so he's going to adapt, and that's why I was saying that he was probably going for a TP boom.
Yeah, I noticed he actually has a wood upgrade in Age 1 as well, so we might be seeing a more boomy style from him. I don't think this is a very common card in the Aztec deck, the exotic hardwoods.
I mean, you need to have some discovery or industrial shipments. And since it doesn't want to go fast industrial, I guess you can just add that card, it's okay. So...
Oh, he also has the Explorer card, actually. I do like that one. The Jaguars are actually quite underrated. They do a lot of damage.
I don't think it's for the Jaguars, but rather for the HP and attack boost on the Explorer.
Oh,
so
for sure. But the Jaguars actually deal with bow units really nicely, I discovered.
Say that.
Yeah, like you said, the forward warhead here, so most likely some pressure coming on. I don't expect, like, a very hard dredge, like you said, like the 2 TCs from Portuguese is just almost impossible to break. So I think this is just more as a containing and map control.
Yeah, true, he's gathering some coins, so he will probably go for pikemen. Maybe try to kill a house or a market, I don't know.
Yeah, like this right side house is actually quite exposed, so he should be able to take that down relatively easy. Notably though, kynesie did not send a discovery card, so he is saving his shipments for Colonial here.
He's going for a very defensive TC, so it's probably going to be a fast fortress.
Yeah,
like
especially because he saved his discovery card. It's like a pretty big giveaway.
With anticipation.
Oh, and he is getting down a stable, so...
Maybe, yeah, he's probably going for some SR semi-FF. So Kaiser is opening with some pikes, and maybe we'll try to take down that TC.
Yeah, if he gets there fast enough, he could actually really get maybe 1 or 2 volleys off before it finishes with the pikes.
I think that once this TC finishes, he should definitely send the Minutemen and try to snare the pikemen with the Explorer.
Actually, he's getting a lot of volleys off here with... Yeah, it's half HP. And now he pulls back very smartly. He just wanted to do some damage to it, force a batch of Minutemen.
What's he doing with his villagers? I think that was a mistake. So it seems that actually Kaiser is going for the stupid rush, which is a bad strat, but considering that kynesie probably doesn't play a lot against Aztecs, maybe it's going to work.
Yeah, especially with the second DC being so low, but he's actually repairing it, and I love this. This is so efficient. And he is making a batch of Hussar, it would seem. And now Colonial Militia has arrived, and he will start one-shotting pikemen here. Yeah, he needs to make sure there's 10 vills in each DC,
it's just not a good idea to rush against Portuguese. To do something, and as I said, he's just taking training posts.
Yeah, very smart.
Didn't take one, why usually you're meant to build one when you play as Portuguese. Taking one SR.
Yeah, he didn't have the coin to build more of them. Or the food rather. He did have enough coin, he sent the 700 coin ship, but he was like
yeah. So I don't know, like I feel that Kaiser is still ahead in this game because that I don't know, kynesie wasted his Minutemen. He made a stable, but it should have been a TP, I feel. So yeah, that kind of sucks for kynesie at the bad start.
Yeah, I'd have to say Kaiser is ahead, especially because kynesie had to cut some vills as well, so he is currently behind in vills, although the 2 TCs will help him catch up with that, of course. But he's also behind in military, he's behind a TP, soon going to be 2 TPs behind. Oh, these Minutemen are doing some damage, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, he managed to kill 1 villager, which is good.
But the problem is, like, he is going to run out of safe hunts, and because he plays his second TC so defensively, he is not going to get another...
He didn't try to control that ant, and that sucks.
Yeah. And he's not going to get his third TC until he goes to Fortress, which he is still a decent bit away from. Oh, this Hussar might kill 1 vill here. Maybe a second one?
Unfortunately, yeah, it's only 1 SR. So maybe we'll do a bit more. Now when your opponent puts his villager and come back like here, you should always try to back your SR. Because else you just end up losing it.
Oh, let's see if the second vill goes down. 1 more hit. Nope. These 2 Hussars might be able to pick off that weakened vill though, if kynesie pays attention. And yeah, kynesie is actually getting closer to Fortress here, so... I really hope he places his third TC in a place where he can control 1 more hunt, because he is really going to need it.
He can't, because see, Kaiser just have his coyotes here in order to block the TC. Yeah, and he's placed his army here nicely in order to block TC, so yeah.
And the weakened Ville did get picked off by the two hussars. And I think kynesie was also able to spot that Kaiser was dancing with some villagers on his fire pit. Which might mean that there is some more water priest.
That was really a nice move from kynesie, and I think that he managed to come back. Now the issue is that he's running out of ants, which is of course a big deal, but he really did a lot of work with this 3 hussar.
Yeah, they picked off quite a bit of villagers. I think it was 2 or 3. Let's see, units. Oh, 4 actually. 4 villagers dead. Yeah, that's very nice. He really needs to, like you said, secure more hunt though, because this 1 deer hunt is not going to last very long. He does have 2 sheep, so once those get fat, that's another 600 food, I think.
Is Kaiser trained to age?
It does not look like it currently, no. We do have the stagecoach though. So now Kaiser is quite far ahead in villagers, especially after he shipped 5 vills.
Well, kynesie now needs to take the maps. Oh, be careful with UTC, kynesie.
Okay, it's fine. I don't think it can get taken down here. It's going to take some damage from these spikes, most likely. Nope, never mind. There is vills being garrisoned in the TC. He's fine. But that's, again, a TC forced defensively, which makes it very awkward for kynesie to get more hunts.
I don't know if he has 1k food, because in this situation I think that he will need... No, he doesn't have 1k food. So that really sucks, because, like... If he wants food, yeah, I don't know, he needs, like, to buy food in the market. Which sucks.
Yeah, although he is actually quite lucky,
well,
and
maybe
this herd is naturally moving towards him, so that is nice for him.
Lucky, but you really need to take the map now.
Oh, but look at this. That is so smart by
Yeah,
Kaiser.
that's sneaky.
Although he does have access to dragoons now, which could be very good for him here.
Yeah, since Kaiser only has 5 maces, I think that 5 dragons will be enough to take the map control. So
He's going
is
for
Kaiser
Castors,
aging
though.
now?
Kaiser is not... Oh wait, yeah, he is aging. He is about halfway finished. He is aging with the chief. I think that's wood? I don't remember. No, wait, that's for Iroquois. I don't remember what the chief is.
No, it's the hero boost, you know.
Ah, yeah, it gives the swashbuckler attack or whatever.
Yeah. But I think that Kaiser is taking this game at this moment because, well, he has more eco and he's going to reach Fortress Age, which is what you want to do. Because
Also,
the issue is that
pikemen. That's an odd unit choice, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah,
Maybe it's just to start sieging down these TPs, actually.
That's the situation you want to be in as Aztecs, because most of the time, if you're going for fast fortress build, you're just going to be a lot slower. Yes, going for mill, that sucks. You're going to be a lot slower than the Aztec player. And if you go for a colonial play, well, you will have more eco, that's for sure, but you will be stuck in colonial. I think that Kaiser is just going to win this game too.
Yeah, especially now that kynesie is forced to go on mills. This is pretty bad for him. He doesn't even have the church card, so he can't even, like, make these mills somewhat decent by sending the church card, because there's like a, I think it's 25% upgrade or something for mills in there. He does have the Mamelukes though, and this is a big power spike for him. But these will need to do a lot of work. Oh, and he's even hurting the...
Probably has the best anti-cav unit in the game, which is the Eagle Runner, because it's just a great unit.
Oh yeah, Eagle Runners are really, really good.
I
He
don't
doesn't
know
need a noble hut to make them though.
But yeah, I don't know if kynesie has enough to break that we're at. It probably does, actually.
Yeah, the problem is, like, there's always a danger that 6 Eagle Knights get shipped there, and those will deal with the Mamelukes quite nicely.
You should try to snipe these vills.
Yeah, for sure. And he should definitely know that
that
as well, because the pronghorn is dead there. I just noticed that Kaiser actually shipped 13 mace, which to me seems like a terrible shipment.
The best shipment in this situation? Like, it should be either 1 K-wood if you want to go for long term, or rather like 6 Eagle Knights if you want to kill the S and the Mamluks. But yeah, I think that's the game is just over because Kynesie is on mills. It doesn't have a lot of eco, while Kaiser the TP line.
Well, for now, I think Kynesie is still fine because he did manage to secure this, which is going to sustain him for a couple more minutes. But once that runs out, he really is in a lot of trouble. Yeah.
I mean, it's not about map control. It's about global economy and army. Like Kynesie literally has nothing.
Actually, Kynesie is, well, not ahead because there's 3 TPs, but it is extremely close, the eco at the moment.
Could maybe make it.
These 2 organ guns might work if they can get protected, though, because like Aztec doesn't have a really good anti-cannon unit besides the Arrow Knight, and I'm not sure if... Oh, he does have them in attack. Okay, so never mind, he's fine.
Yeah, he can just make 5 Arrow Knights, and then these ramps are just useless, so...
Yeah, Arrow Knights are really, really good against cannons. It's like probably the best covering unit in the game.
Not great, actually. They have a good range, that's true, but like they don't DPS fast. I would rather have 1 covering, honestly.
Well, the thing is, you can't counter Arrow Knights with culverins of your own. You actually need to get in line with them, with like Hussar or something, to be able to deal with them.
Like the Arrow Knights take ages to kill the Fanatics.
Yeah, that is a problem. Their DPS isn't that high. Oh my god, Kynesie making even more walls.
Yeah, I would do that too.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't even be surprised if he makes like a dock and a caravel here. Like, it would not surprise me in the slightest.
Here would be really nice, because it would secure actually this TP, and it will kill this this noble hut. But a nice thing is that Kaiser is trying to control the map, like with a warrior here, a warrior there, and this noble hut here, which means that he's trying to control all the ends Kynesie has, and it also gives him a good line of sight.
Yeah, for sure. And we do see the Arrow Knights coming out now, and they are picking off the organ gun slowly.
And now there's not much Kynesie can do. He just has to go back. Yeah, he just can't take that fight. He has nothing.
Yeah, behind the walls, I think he might be fine, but it's still very, very awkward because of these Arrow Knights. Like, his organ guns are just going to die.
Damage. Like, Maces maybe he could win. But yeah, it seems like it's really lagging.
Yeah, this is insane. Like, it's even freezing straight up. Ooh, some coyotes going to the back here, though. Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true. But really sucks. Like, yeah, it doesn't really seem playable right now.
Yeah, I can't tell what the delay is, obviously, as a caster, but if the game is just straight up freezing, like, I can only imagine. Wow.
Well,
although this does allow me to do some math, so... Okay, currently, Kynesie is up 9 villagers if we count the TPs.
Yes.
But I feel like at this point, the Aztec military is just quite a bit better. Like, Eagle Knights are super good, and you can't really go cannons because Arrow Knights are just almost impossible to deal with unless you have a lot of handcav. And
yes,
oh
that's
my
a big
god,
issue.
this is ridiculous. Another noble's hut going down here in the back. First organ about to get killed by the Arrow Knights. And most of the Mamelukes have been dealt with by the Eagle Knights. With some help from the maze, actually, it seems.
So he's just going to win that fight. He forgot the war dance though, because with 10 priests dancing, it's really good. But yeah, he's winning that regardless.
Yeah, this was a very one-sided fight. Like, he took down the Mamelukes and the organs, which are just the 2 best shipments Port has in H3.
Kynesie just has doesn't have really a lot of units, and while he's running out of resources, he's losing the map. So yeah, I don't know what he can do.
Yeah, like Aztecs units in H3 are just actually very powerful.
Yeah, if you come to that point, they are. The thing is, you need to upgrade most of your units, and like Arrow Knights and Eagle Knights are very expensive. Oh, he's going to lose all his Cazadors in the middle of the map because of the lag.
Yeah, he took quite a bit of damage there. The Arrow Knights actually aren't that expensive, it's just that they don't deal with anything besides cannons and buildings. And they do take 2 pop, which does make them more expensive in a way, because you need to build more houses quicker.
They're very expensive. I mean, resources, and considering how bad the unit is, I would say that it's quite expensive.
Yeah, that like it doesn't kill anything that's not a cannon, and even those it kills pretty slowly.
One Arrow Knight, you're not going to do much. You need at least 5 or 10 if you want to do something.
Yeah,
and that's why I say that they're quite expensive.
Especially like on the population, that's like 2 houses worth of population. But yeah, the Eagle Runners are just cleaning up here, it seems. Like, Eagle Runners with maces in the back is just a very awkward composition to deal with. Just look at these stats. 60 damage against cavalry, Jesus. Only 12 range though, but yeah. Aztec is definitely not to be underestimated in Fortress.
The chat thinks that I might be the one who makes the game lag, so you'll try to cast this one without me, I think.
Oh, I guess you could try that.
So I don't know if you have anyone who wants to cast with you.
I could try to find someone, but I mean, for starters, I just highly doubt that it's one of us. But like, if it really is a problem with the casters, I think it's just best we have as few casters as possible instead of just replacing one.
It's kynesie, but yeah, we'll cast without me. Okay, so out. See you.
I could actually maybe try to. Oh, it's gone. Let's see, how could I do this? I'm just going to see if I can find a way for someone to cast with me. Okay, seems like my backup co-caster isn't responding for now. This is This is rather awkward. Oh, and it seems like we're going to have a rematch of the second game, except that the civs are switched around. But yeah, it doesn't look like my backup is responding for now, so I'll probably have to solo cast this. Which is somewhat awkward. So yeah, they are starting here in port against Aztec. Just they switched around, of course, because Kynesie had to pick the native civ this time, and the map will be Colorado, which is the S-shaped TP map, if I'm not mistaken. So we do have on the left side of the map, once the game loads in the color red, Kynesie playing as the Aztecs. He is down 2 games against his opponent on the right side of the map, in the color blue as the Portuguese, Kaiserklein. Let's see, 1 hunt, 2 hunt, 3 hunt, 1, 2, 3, and then some over here and then there. Okay, that's fine. Mine. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, map seems fine. Let's take a look at the treasures quickly. 40 wood in base, 10 coin in base. Oh wow, this is a great treasure. Only 3 cougars for 110 wood, that's really nice. 90 food for 3 wolves, also a great treasure. Some hit points. Oh, the nude guy isn't too bad. 20 coin. Oh, this is also pretty good. The 95 wood, 120 experience. Okay, so there's some pretty nice treasures on the map, but it seems like Kynesie is not finding the really good ones currently, although he did come across this 120 experience here, which will allow him to get some nice shipments out earlier. But in base he still has a nice wood treasure, and close by he has these 2 which are decent. Well, the kit isn't too good, but the 110 wood definitely is very nice. He might want to pick it up once he finds it. Also going towards this 95 wood here, which is also a very good treasure. And yeah, Kaiser's going for the Nutka, which is actually quite nice, because if you get this Nutka as sport in this matchup, you can actually park it around the middle of the map and try to prevent the forward war hut. Because this thing does have a decent amount of siege. You do have to be careful of the opponent's explorer and the Pokemons, of course. The Pokemons being the guardians of the forts. But yeah, the one difference in this matchup on this map compared to the last one is that there is 1 more TP. But I think that one of them isn't actually takeable, because it might be too close to the port town center, so I don't think Aztec can take this one. And even this one is a lot more awkward to take, so even though there is 1 more TP technically, practically it's actually 1 TP less, because it's very difficult to control this one, and I'm fairly confident this one just straight up can't be taken at all. And we just see that the Age 1 army for Kynesie is growing here, so Kaiser does need to be careful to not get caught, or he might be in trouble. And yeah, he might lose his explorer here. Although the Nutka is coming to help here. And it does have a decent amount of damage for an Age 1 unit. But yeah, Kaiser is most likely losing his Explorer here. Although, this Nootka is doing some serious work. Wow, that is actually really well microed by Kaiser. Not losing his Explorer here and dealing with all the Aztec units. And now he can actually quite safely contest the forward warhead. This is really well played. Oh, but because of the colonial, Kynesie's Warchief got a big HP boost, so it was able to survive. But if the Nootka finds the forward warhead, it can do quite a bit of damage to it. But I feel like Kaiser can get away with his Explorer here. He's about to reach Colonial as well. And he will get the HP boost as well then. Where did the Nootka go? Ah, the Nootka is waiting for the forward warhead here. Oh, but it's actually... The Vils were already placed there ahead in time, so... The Nootka was not able to catch the warheads, which he was expecting to be here. So he's going to look into the Aztec player's base to make sure that there is no shenanigans going on in here. But if he goes here and finds no warhead, he probably just realizes, ah, I just missed the forward warhead, which is a shame. But at least he can be safe. It's not like something really cheesy. Although, I say that, but this actually could also be like a really fast fortress or something crazy like that. And that's why there's no military building, but with him moving his Nootka forward again, I would imagine he's just going to look for this warhead, and then he finds it and realizes it's completely standard play. Although he is not going to be in time to scout the pikes, which might do a lot of damage to this DC. And that's going to take a lot of damage, actually. It was halfway when the pike started sieging it. I'm not sure if it will go down. It probably will not. No, with the minimum now, it's fine. But this is a lot of damage being done. These pikes are in a bit of trouble though, because these Minutemen do have a ×2 multiplier against them, so they die very quickly. The Explorer does get taken down for Kaiser. And now it's Buffalo Grill, the Aztec Warchief, against some Minutemen. But now there's Coyote as well, and that will surely be enough to deal with these Minutemen. But then there is still 2 DCs here, and that is very difficult to break like we saw last game. One of them is extremely low hit points though, because of the pikemen. Some Coyote is trying to kill some Vils here. Oh, and Kynesie just calls GG, okay. I'm not too sure why, but... Huh. Okay. That is strange, but... Yeah, I'm not sure what to say about that, actually. That game didn't quite seem over.